7.
I see what you did there. Claw their way up just because he's a Weavile main? All right. All right, I see you.
So, let's talk about the two characters that we're going to get into.
You know, Weavile for sure, but I'm thinking if we're going to be seeing Blaziken or if we're going to be seeing the Shadow Mewtwo.
Yeah.
It's tricky. On one hand, Blaziken, of course, or Shadow Mewtwo, of course, building gauge very quickly, but Weavile is one of those characters who can take away your gauge, and whenever that's your saving grace, at times it feels like it might be a tough pick to go for, especially while the glassiness of Shadow Mewtwo has certainly increased with these latest patches.
I would think, though, if we're picking between the two, you would want to pick the consistent option with Blaziken. I would think that the combo game that you get with Weavile against someone like Shadow Mewtwo is actually too much to risk, especially against someone like Domin0, who we've seen doesn't drop those. So we're going to see what he decides. Is he going to live life on the edge, or is he going to choose the consistent path? Let's get into it. It's going to be Shadow Mewtwo, living life on the edge. So he's picking Shadow Mewtwo here, guessing that I feel that I can control this game. I have the damage, I have the defensive measures necessary to not take damage, especially when I have a lot less than the average Pokemon. So, getting into it.
BadIntent going straight for the Shadow Mewtwo here.
Oh, he counters him. Knows that the follow-up would be there.
Of course, Shadow Mewtwo builds burst quicker than most, but Weavile, one of his unique properties is just that availability to take your burst away.
Oh, gosh.
But of course, while Shadow Mewtwo does hurt himself with so many of his attacks, he has access to some of the most powerful tools in this game.
Easily, dude. Think of Akuma in the fact that, say you knock someone down, right? You could use a meaty jump-in fireball to keep them stuck in place. Those are some of the tools that you can expect to see from Shadow Mewtwo. Keeping people stuck in place, allowing him to advance quicker, but he needs to just get that initial advantage first before he can do all the crazy shenanigans.
Oh, shoulder charge.
Oh, here we go.
Dive kicks. Rounds. BadIntent. He didn't even need burst, really. Like the actual burst attack itself, it felt in that game. Of course, this is Losers Semis. And overall, with BadIntent, I'm expecting for him to have amazing utilization throughout whenever we talk about his usage of Synergy Burst.
BadIntent reminding me a lot of Punko in a lot of different ways for all you Street Fighter fans out there. He takes gambles. He makes smart risks based on tendencies and patterns. He makes educated guesses and places all his chips on the table.
Some great chips. Seeing the Gracilia, and this hurts so much for Domin0, who had such a sizable lead earlier. How many find that slipping?
He puts him back on his feet, and this is the combo game that I was talking about. Domin0 doesn't drop his stuff. Ooh, is there a punish opportunity here? How far is he going to take it?
Perhaps all the way. Burst is on the table for both players. Domin0 strikes first, and Shadow Mewtwo decidingly strikes back. Now we're going to be seeing a Sonic Splash attempt that burst.
Wow.
Not going to be seeing any favors yet. And the pillars just to lock Domin0 down, but he ends up getting the throw tech. Throw tech back and forth into the counter from Domin0, and BadIntent only a health remaining.
Punish
the counter.
Is he going to grab him? No. He waits. Got him! He has the quicker normal there and beats out BadIntent.
What an insane finish to that round. BadIntent. And of course, it shows the thin line that you have to walk every time you're playing a character like Shadow Mewtwo. You're so used to being in the red, and it takes the perfect callouts to consistently have the most utility with this character's tools.
You have to have the smarts to play someone like Shadow Mewtwo. You have to not only know your character, know the frame advantage, you have to read your opponents really well because you're making a big gamble here.
And beyond that, it's knowing your character, knowing your limits, and understanding when you need to break some of those limits. Speaking of which, going straight into burst mode now. BadIntent. I'm hoping to close this round out early. At the very least, gets the grab.
Ooh, money.
Gets that phase shift on top of it. This could be some serious pain. As we're seeing Domin0 just waiting for that burst to run out.
Ooh, is this an opportunity here?
Quite possibly. Are we going to be seeing the Sonic Splash?
Walk forward grab. Oh, here. Ooh, that was really close.
Thinking way ahead there. Counter coming in clutch. As well as the Cresselia.
Yeah, he didn't have any Great Life.
Yeah, but but look at his burst meter.
Ah, I see. It makes sense.
Synergy gauge. Nearly ready to go for BadIntent, but only 20 health remaining. 15 seconds on the clock. 3 health remaining for Domin0 with 1 on BadIntent. Just striking shield poses.
Needs to be the aggressor. Got some!
Oh my!
The one time you didn't want to press a button, homie. Ugh.
Domin0
That's nasty.
visibly frustrated with the ending of that game. I believe it was at EVO that he ended up dropping to Blaziken. So fittingly, he's going off against one of the best Blaziken players in the United States. Although he is currently playing Shadow Mewtwo, of course.
The aggression is the common theme between those characters. And how hard you're pushing that frame advantage. How hard you're pushing your opponent's buttons to make them want to press something. And you have the perfect response. Okay, you ready?
Definitely ready.
Domin0, BadIntent, Game 2, let's go. Do we get Umbreon? Yeah, I think Umbreon would be the choice right now, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he has been using Umbreon very efficiently to ward off some of the pressure throughout this bracket. So it really is not surprising to me to see the Umbreon being the go-to pick here as well. And of course, you're seeing BadIntent playing Shadow Mewtwo. He's sacrificing his own health total in order to create openings and opportunities for himself. What Domin0 needs to figure out are ways to capitalize on those particular moments and try to create the phase shifts to reduce the recoverable HP that he can regenerate with Cresselia.
He was so close to having the anti-air there. Here's the punish game. Takes him up. This is the combo game that we were talking about. He's not dropping these. He has to chase afterwards, though, and get the positioning. This guy can't move.
He can't move. He doesn't have a moment to breathe. I feel like we need to see Cresselia. Yep. Comes out.
But is there going to be a punish for this? Or is he going to get positioning?
He respects it. He respects the shoulder charge so much.
That armor. Okay. Umbreon there just to say, get off me, homie, and get the damage on.
And put him at 1. And Cresselia, of course, can only be used once per round. Which means there's no methods of life gain. Slides right into the DMs and takes the first round of the second game.
Appreciate that. All right. Round 2. Billy is entertained. We're all here ready to go. Who's going to come out on top?
And, you know, Neptune, if we take a moment, just look at what's on the table for both players. Of course, you're seeing Domin0 going with the early Umbreon, maybe thinking that this could be a knockdown drag-out fight, might want access to it again later on. Beyond that, he has his Synergy Burst available. BadIntent had it at the start, but didn't throughout the course of the game. Yeah, you definitely want to see if for someone like Umbreon that you use for the get off me, the get out of jail free cards, it's really important to use that early if you can get the most utility out of it possible, considering BadIntent is going to be someone who likes to press buttons. Speaking of most utility, that Cresselia heal was intense, and beyond that gave him all the bar that he needs to go into Synergy Burst mode. Oh, locks him down. This is bad. I thought we were going to be seeing another grab, actually. Yeah, it seemed like it. Wow! The stomp into the pillar? It's rough. Okay. Is he going to put him in the corner here? How's he going to get him? Keeps him in hit stun. Holds him steady. He doesn't want to overcommit here. He knows that if he gets touched by BadIntent, it's going to be curtains. BadIntent. Trying to make it so sneaky as to when he's going to make the next approach. There's the Umbreon call out just to get some of the pressure off. And now the final seconds of this game, 10 seconds remaining. 26 health on BadIntent with Domin0 at 53. Domin0 now has nowhere to go. And the pressure's on BadIntent. Oh, baby! Catches him with the slide into the DMs. That was so close. He saw BadIntent coming forward, who had misinterpreted the spacing that it would take for him to catch that. Even then, the slide in from Domin0. Taking that round. My heart, Neptune. I can't do another game like that. Don't worry. I got this.
I got the aspirin on deck. You're fine. Got you.
These rounds have just been way too intense. Of course, you expect a lot of these down-to-the-wire rounds whenever you're seeing a Shadow Mewtwo on screen. Again, just juggling your health total as a resource in order to create openings for yourself is so much of the archetype of the character. But beyond that, the fact that you're seeing these players consistently be able to make those heads-up decisions over and over and over again when they're taking to that zone round after round.
Gosh.
It's nuts.
It really is.
Tell me about like the mental fortitude that's required for something like this.
For sure. I mean, the thing to keep in mind is that when you play against characters that are that are very strong aggro, that are very high intensity, but also low on health, you are really playing a double-edged sword. And so every decision that you make is nerve-wracking. Every time you overextend, you are constantly worried that do they actually have the knowledge of how to punish this? Do they know how safe this move is or how disadvantageous it is? And when you see these moments, when you see the punishment game coming back from them, and you watch your health kind of fall to pieces, you get even more nervous as the game goes on. It really takes someone who has a lot of composure to play these high-intensity, high-risk, high-reward characters. We're going to be getting into this next match here. There's the Blaziken. This is the consistency that I talked about previously. Now, with the swap out here, going back to Blaziken, it's now a lot less stress to play this character.
Yeah, I mean, you do still have those moments where you actually use some of your life in order to create openings like you did with Shadow Mewtwo, but you have a higher health pool to work with and less of those particular interactions overall. Into the round. BadIntent creating the first phase shift and getting a really nice position onto the field as well as we see Domin0 into the corner. And just holding shield against the barrage of attacks. BadIntent, however, again, just finding the right openings here and creating the right amount of pressure. It's the pressure that led him to end up coming out on top against Bolamar.
And we're going to see a lot of health coming back here. No! Yes, that's going to do it.
He just threw up the Cresselia in order to ensure that he'd have burst ready for this next round. It wasn't even about staying alive, it was just about having an extra card.
We're going to see the pickup for Umbreon again. It has been coming in handy for previous matches, but right now, he's going to need it more than ever.
Yeah, especially given the pressure that we're seeing from BadIntent, it makes total sense. But what I really appreciate about BadIntent's style is the breaks in pressure, where he'll give Domin0 a second to breathe, only to make him unprepared for the gut punch that's incoming.
Yeah, that's the ability to give your opponent the moment to hang themselves, idea, right? Whenever you feel, that's usually for people that feel are in complete control. Bursting there to cover up the mistake here, follows up here, puts him into the corner. Is he going to go for the grab? Yes, but that's going to be the burst of retort. Pushes him back here. Frame advantage? Yes. And he's going to have to follow up with the damage.
Oh, here's some damage. Here's some damage. Gets the burst attack.
Wow, that was some tricky camera work.
It's almost.
BadIntent trying to see if he can catch any advantage he can here. He's ahead. He wants to continue to be this much further ahead. Blaziken. So with BadIntent, he's happy, more than happy, to take his time and sit behind those ice cubes. Domin0 is only hurting himself because the clock is not letting up.
Yeah, you're right. And nor is the pressure from BadIntent, where you're seeing the Umbreon come out to try and alleviate some of that. But of course, he can't be chipped out, but Domin0's health pool ever dwindling. He cannot afford a single trade, and BadIntent comes out clean. Just a quick little jab. And that's going to be the round.
I'm telling you, man.
Is it 2 out of 3 for... Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that it was just 2 out of 3 for
it's
for semis.
Yeah. Only
finals. Wow. So Domin0, a heavy loss there.